Good evening and welcome to Financial Fix, our partnership with APG FCU. I'm here with Deanna Murphy, a realtor with Integrity Real Estate. Deanna, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So do you want to talk a little bit about your background before we go started?
I have been a realtor for about 16 years. I'm licensed in Maryland and Delaware. I try to focus on Cecil County and Newcastle County. Those are the areas I know. Going outside of those areas, I try to, get them to a realtor that knows those areas a little better.
So what do you think is the most important thing to consider when buying your first home?
The most important thing is knowledge is power, especially some of my younger clients. Go to a mortgage lender, talk to them, get pre-approved by them, know what your mortgage payment is going to be. It is very important. There are so many programs out there these days. It's not like you have to have 20% down to buy a home anymore. There are FHA programs, 100% financing programs. Know what you're looking for, what area you're looking in, and then contact a realtor at that point. It's heartbreaking sometimes when I have buyers that think they can afford maybe something in the $250,000 range when actually they're more comfortable in the $200,000 range. It's tough to find a house once you've looked at something $50,000 more. It's tough to find something that you're really satisfied with. So talk to the mortgage lender first. Comfort level is ultimate. Buying a home is one of the most personal things that you can ever do and one of the major investments. So you have to feel comfortable with the people you're working with.
So you touched on this a little bit, but what really is the role of a mortgage lender?
The mortgage lender can go through and pull your credit. They can actually, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of buyers seem to be afraid of telling mortgage lenders and mortgage companies, about their finances.
But really, it benefits you.
Absolutely, and they can counsel you if, a lot of our younger generation, they don't realize how important credit is, and they do these online credit applications and they say, yeah, you're approved, but definitely go to a local lender. They know the programs, they know the area. A lot of these online services, you just really want to talk to someone face to face.
Right. Okay, so let's say you're pre-approved. What are the next steps?
Then you get to contact a realtor. When you're looking for a realtor, definitely look for experience. I think that is a major role, and the realtor has to know the area. Yeah. You don't want to get Cousin Joe from California to try to help you find a house in Maryland or Delaware. They need to know the area, and all the online searches. That's the biggest place to find homes right now is online searches, but these searches are not going to get you through the process. A realtor is going to get you through the process. It's not just finding the home, it's getting you through, the inspections and the appraisal and all the different roles of in buying a house. And they're there for moral support. We do this for a living. Realtors do this for a living. Buyers don't do this every day. We've pretty much seen it all, and there's still a lot to see, but I think that's probably the most important experience.
Could you talk a little bit about the difference between the buyer's realtor and the seller's realtor? I feel like when people are looking around, like when I looked through listings to buy a house, you often see, contact the realtor, the seller's realtor, but you may not necessarily want to do that.
The name that's on the sign in the yard is the seller's realtor. They are, quote, the listing agent. That agent is representing the seller. Right. Now, their fiduciary responsibility is to the seller. We all have to be honest and fair and everything, but if you're buying a house, you want a buyer's agent to be able to, and a buyer's agent can take you to 100 different listings. It doesn't matter who the listing agent is as long as they are in the multi-list. That's why we're licensed. But a buyer's agent is representing your best interest. Their fiduciary responsibility is to you, the buyer. They're going to guide you through this process. They can run comps on the comparable properties on the property that you're looking at. If you have a house that's listed for $250,000 and the rest in the neighborhood are $200,000, that might be a problem. Right. So they are representing you. The buyer's representing you. I mean, the buyer representative is representing the buyer. Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest mistake that buyers make when they're pursuing a new home?
Probably looking for homes that they don't qualify for. As I mentioned before, it's kind of it's hard to find them a home in their price range if they've been looking above that price range. So that's why it's important to get in touch with the lender first.
So switching gears a little bit, what tips do you have for sellers?
Sellers, I think the most important thing that sellers need to realize is to put themselves in the buyer's shoes. Walk through your house, look around, call a realtor to look around your house. You know, that big old hole in the wall might mean nothing to you, but a realtor's going to tell you that you need to definitely fix that. And buyers these days, they want perfection.
Yeah.
Get yourself a storage unit. All those things that you have in your basement that you haven't used in 15 years and you don't want to get rid of it, get yourself a storage unit, put it in the storage unit, and tour models in the area, see how these models look, and that's what your house should look like.
Wow. One last thing, what tips would you give someone who's looking for a realtor, a buyer or a seller?
As I said, it's kind of it's such a personal thing. I actually have both myself and my buyers and sellers have withdrawal symptoms after we get through to settlement. And, you know, I'll get a text 2 days later, I haven't heard from you in 2 days. It's such a personal thing. I think it's more about make sure you're comfortable with the person. Make sure you can tell them everything that you're looking for.
Right.
That realtor has to listen. On a buyer side, they have to listen to what that buyer wants. And sometimes a buyer doesn't even know what they want until you see, 5 or 10 homes, and then I start picking up things from that buyer, that, they don't like a house directly behind them. They like to see farmland or they like to see woods. And when it comes to the seller side, also very personal. There's nothing more personal than your home. And you have to trust that realtor that they are going to make sure that those buyers that are coming through with the agents that are coming through are qualified, to not let the cat out of the house. And, I've gotten calls, I've got a showing today, but my bed's not made. I'll run over there and make the bed. It's so personal. It is very personal. So I think comfort is very important.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you for having me.